Good morning, gardening friends. It has been a very eventful morning so far, to say the least. It is almost 9 o'clock and I woke up at 4:30 so that I could get a head start on the morning and, clean up the house a little bit and then come out here before the sun comes up and before my son wakes up and get this vegetable garden update video filmed for you. And it's just been one thing after another. It's either my dog's barking or a train coming by or someone, driving their car by really loud or someone sitting at the neighbors honking their horn or something. But anyways, in today's video, I just want to focus on the vegetables because I feel like a lot of my videos lately have been about cut flowers. And I feel like these were seedlings the last time you guys really got an in-depth look at them. I mean, look at this German chamomile blooming and looking beautiful. I don't even think you guys saw this when it was a seedling. It is just absolutely stunning. It is so, I don't know, it's like so relaxing just looking at it blowing in the wind. First off, let's just talk about this. I grew this lavender from seed. You know how many years I've tried to grow lavender from seed? I've never been able to do it until this year successfully. So if you guys are frustrated because there's something that you tried to grow and you aren't able to do it, just know that there are some things out there that, even people that have been gardening for 10, 20 years, they still have trouble with it. I can grow a 20-foot tall tomato, but I can't grow lavender to save my life. So moving on, we have lots of flowers in the vegetable beds this year. One thing that I have struggled with since moving to this property is a whole array of pests that I have never encountered. You can see that my beans are being chewed on. I've got some marigolds over there that were just totally nibbled on to just a little nub. And so one thing that I did this year was I put a lot more marigolds, zinnias, and nasturtiums in the vegetable beds to try to either deter pests or attract pests to that plant. Like nasturtiums can be a trap crop for things like aphids. Marigolds can deter things like nematodes. And then, you got your zinnias that attract things like butterflies and bees and other pollinators. The zinnias that I'm growing are, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I will put it up on the screen. It's a variety that stays pretty short, and so are the marigolds that I planted. I planted yellow, white, and orange on the marigolds, and then the nasturtiums are a variegated variety. They have a variegated leaf. I usually struggle with nasturtiums because they don't like a lot of water, and I find that they get overwatered when I'm trying to give everything else enough water. So I planned on growing them far away from anything else, but because we're only doing 4 of these little raised beds this year, I didn't really have the space to put them very far away, so we'll see how they do. I've got these tomato cages in here for my peppers. I haven't gotten them all planted, but I've got some in here. We have a couple different colors of California Wonder. We have Yellow Wonder. We have lipstick pepper. We have jigsaw, Chinese 5-color pepper, lilac bell pepper. Just all sorts of varieties of peppers this year. We've got green beans, bush beans on both sides of this bed with flowers in between each one. And then in that bed, I'm growing pole beans. I'm growing a few bush beans on the edges, but I'm growing most of the pole beans up these stakes. All I did to make that was I put 4 of them in the bed, kind of at an angle, and then I put a bunch of string around it at the top, and I kind of weaved it in instead of just going around. And then I tied a string. So far I've just gotten 3 rows, but I'm going to do that all the way up so that instead of just being able to grow one bean, bean plant up each stake, I can plant multiple beans all around the perimeter and have them growing up the center also. So you get a little bit more growing space that way. So one thing really quickly, you guys that are watching this right now, if you could do me a huge favor and just let me know in the comments, when I do these garden tours, do you like if I just go over the varieties and give you a close look at them, or would you rather me go in more detail about how I started them or when I started them, and if I direct sowed them or if I transplanted them and things like that? Because I don't want to drag out my videos too long, but I also want to give you guys the information that you want and need to help you guys out, because I know a lot of you are beginner gardeners, and that's what a lot of my videos are for, is for you beginner gardeners out there that, you know, need help with growing your first garden. But back to this bed, we have a couple more nasturtiums, the German chamomile, we've got a couple varieties of basil, we've got some Brussels sprouts. I personally love Brussels sprouts. I have to have a lot of butter, but we've got some purple opal basil that got really sunburnt and was looking really bad there for a minute, but it's starting to recover a little bit. And then we have some weeds. Unfortunately, the weeds are beginning to get a little out of control for me. You can see there are a ton of little grass seedlings and weed seedlings in these beds, but I'm hoping to have my husband watch the kids like one full day and just spend the entire day out here getting it caught back up and then trying to stay back on top of it. Now over here it looks a little worse than it actually is, because I have a whole lot of little baby carrot seedlings. But over here we have the purple sprouting broccoli, and we've got a bunch of different lettuces that are going to be getting harvested very soon before they bolt and start tasting bad. I've harvested a few leaves here and there, but for the most part I haven't really harvested off of these. And to be honest, they're so beautiful, I really don't want to, but I know if I don't, they're just gonna bolt and it will be a waste. This wasn't just for looks, this was for eating. But this is the first year I've grown so many different colors of lettuce, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The contrast in colors and the leaf shapes is just so stunning. Also in this bed we have some plum sunflowers and some white night sunflowers. Those were two varieties that I didn't have a whole lot of room for in my sunflower bed, so I wanted to put some of those over here in the vegetable bed, because I have a feeling that I'm going to really like those two varieties and I'm going to want a lot of them. But as you can see, we've got lots of beans, more zinnias and marigolds, peppers. That one's the lilac bell. That one's the lipstick pepper. And then this one is the, jigsaw. This one is jigsaw, and it's a variegated leaf. It's starting to kind of come through a little bit, but not a whole lot. But that one I think is going to be very beautiful. We've already got some blooms coming up on the zinnias and the marigolds. That one over there is doing really good. And then again, we've got all of the beautiful lettuce. We've got some more broccoli. Please leave me a comment and let me know if you guys like these kind of garden tours, if you would like a little bit more in-depth information, or if you have any questions. But that's going to be it. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.